Hey, 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 good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for Lunch and Learn episode 45. Oh my goodness, I can't believe in about a week we're going to have 50 episodes, so make sure you tune in every day live here on Facebook. Just depending on my schedule, it goes anywhere from 11:30 sometimes till 2:30 Pacific, but I do always archive every single one of my episodes at youtube.com/create wealth with Tara, or you can just go to youtube.com and search Lunch and Learn with Tara Wilson. So very excited today. We are decision number 3 of 7, the decisions for massive success. And this is a really good one. So just to kind of review, the first one we decided, or the first decision was the buck stops here. So make sure you watch episode 43 for that lesson, which was extraordinary. And the second decision for success was episode 44, I will seek wisdom. So today we're going to talk about the third, and I'm going to read it as always, and then I'm going to talk about my story and a little bit more to apply it to the industry of network marketing or even entrepreneurism, right? So whether you're a realtor or business owner, anybody can learn from these decisions. Obviously, this book was not a network marketing book. It's more of a principles of success for everything, for life, for health, relationships, business, etc. So the third decision for success is I am a person of action. Oh, this one's so big I can't even tell you. So I'm going to read it. Beginning today, I will create a new future by creating a new me. No longer will I dwell in the pit of despair, moaning over squandered time and lost opportunity. I can do nothing about my past. My future is immediate. Guys, future starts today. I will grasp it in both hands and carry it with running feet. When I am faced with the choice of doing nothing or doing something, I will always choose to act. I seize this moment. I choose now. I am a person of action. I am energetic. I move quickly. Knowing that laziness is a sin, I will create a habit of lively behavior. I will walk with a spring in my step and a smile on my face. The lifeblood rushing through my veins is urging me upward and forward into activity and accomplishment. Wealth and prosperity hide from the sluggard, but rich rewards come to the person who moves quickly. I am a person of action. I inspire others with my action. I am a leader. Ooh, we'll get back to that. Leading is doing. To lead, I must move forward. Many people move out of the way for a person on the run. Others are caught up in its wake. My activity will create a wave of success for the people who follow. My activity will be consistent. This will instill confidence in my leadership. As a leader, I have the ability to encourage others and inspire them to greatness. It is true, an army of sheep led by a lion would defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. Ooh. I am a person of action. I can make a decision, and I can make it now. A person who moves neither left or right is destined for mediocrity. When faced with a decision, many people say they are waiting for God. But I understand in most cases, God is waiting for me. He has given me a healthy mind to gather and sort information and the courage to come to a conclusion. I am not a quivering dog, indecisive and fearful. My constitution is strong and my pathway clear. Successful people make decisions quickly and change their minds slowly. Failures make their decisions slowly and change their minds quickly. Ooh, that's a good one. My decisions are quickly. They lead to victory. I am a person of action. I am daring. I am courageous. Fear no longer has a place in my life. For too long, fear has outweighed my desire to make things better for my family. Never again. I have exposed fear as a vapor, an imposter that never had any power over me in the first place. I do not fear opinion, gossip, or idle chatter of monkeys, for all are the same to me. I do not fear failure, for in my life failure is a myth. Failure exists only for the person who quits. I do not quit. I am courageous. I am a leader. I seize the moment. I choose now. I am a person of action. Oh, that's so good. I could read it like 60,000 times. And I would definitely, at the end of the 7, I'm going to give you the book, so that if you do want the whole book, I'm giving you the cliff notes. I'm giving you the decisions. And in between the decisions is a book full of stories. And some of you guys might know who it is, but don't say it. Don't spoil it. All right. So I'm a person of action. To lead, I must move forward. A lot of people know that I got to, with a group of people, be mentored by John C. Maxwell, who was coined by Inc. magazine as the #1 leadership guru in the world. I think he's worked with now the governments of 18 countries to create a leadership environment to change the culture of the countries, right? And what he said is the highest form of influence, the highest form. So if you want to influence another person, the highest form of influence is moral authority. It means walking your walk. It means taking action. It means doing the thing that you want other people to do. So as a leader in network marketing, whether you lead 5 people or 5,000 or 50,000 or 500,000, the #1 thing that you can do to consistently remain a good leader, a solid leader, a valued leader, an inspiring leader, an appreciated leader, a motivating leader, is to continue in action. Continue doing the thing. Now, I recruit people every single month. I've never gone 1 month in almost 10 years in network marketing without recruiting somebody, without signing up customers to be my product users, and without joining distributors to help me build my team so that we can make a massive impact. Every single month. I have no goose eggs. I have 0 goose eggs, right? I have a great record. And why? It's because how am I going to ask somebody or expect somebody to go do something that I stopped doing? At the moment you stop doing it, you got to ask yourself, do I still want to do this thing? Right? I believe so wholeheartedly in my company and our products. We have products. There's products and services that I want to talk about it all day, every day, wherever I am. Whether I'm on a walk with a friend, or I'm on an airplane with somebody, or I'm just sitting there, just chatting with people, or I'm actively recruiting, I'm always talking about it, right? At the moment you don't want everybody in the world to be on your product or service or in your team, you have to question whether you should be doing it. Because if you believe in something so strong enough, and you really believe you have something of value to add to the world, you want everyone to do it. And the only way you're going to continually inspire people is by continually taking action. To action is to lead. Leading is leading from the front, right? You're walking and people are following behind you, right? That's leadership. Or walking with your team, walking with your people. That's leadership. But sitting there saying, go do this, go do this, go do this, that's cheerleading. That's not leading. A person of action, what is the famous phrase, a Rolling Stone? A Rolling Stone gathers no moss. I was actually explaining this to my children the other day. They're like, what does that statement mean? They saw it on a bumper sticker or something. And I said, a rolling stone is something that's constantly moving, and it doesn't sit long enough. Moss grows over things like trees and rocks that are sitting there in an environment, and over time, moss is allowed to. But if you're constantly moving, you're not going to ever gather moss. And so for people in network marketing is don't stay stagnant. The antidote for fear is action. So doing the thing that scares you most is what is going to get you over the fear of the thing you most don't want to do. So if calling people is a fear, the only way you're going to cure that fear is by calling people. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like I was a psych major, and we learned about fears and overcoming fears and stuff. And there's slow ways to do it. There's fast ways to do it. Back in the day, they used to do shock treatment, which has been coined to be a little bit inhumane. So they stopped doing that. Like, oh, you're scared of this? He's like, oh, scare spiders. You see a spider, and then they shock you, and your body's like, ah! And then, or whatever the opposite is. But that you can desensitize yourself to things. For example, if you have arachnophobia, they might start saying, picture a spider all the way across the world. And even with people with strong arachnophobia, that would still cause a little bit of, discomfort, pain, fear, right? They might start thinking, oh, there's a spider at all, like, ah, right? And then they're like, okay. And then the next session they might say, okay, picture a spider in the United States. And then picture a spider, across your state. Now picture there's a spider in your town. And what happens is slowly and slowly you realize that you haven't died yet. You haven't had harm, you haven't had death, that these are fears that, okay, I survived it. Then, picture there's a spider outside your front door, right? And then picture yourself holding a spider. Now, the spider is friendly, it's non-poisonous, and you can literally cure yourself of spiders by thinking about spiders. That's just one example. But the antidote for fear is action. So what happens is there's a hard wiring in our brain. It's actually a physiological thing that exists, and you have little neural pathways in your brain. And when you are scared of something, it just means that your brain's telling you that this is not familiar with you. It's out of your comfort zone. It's out of your belief zone, right? So if we're taught all our life that rejection's hard, and then you go to call people and start getting rejected, your brain sends messages to your body. What does that feel like? It feels like a rapid heartbeat. It feels like butterflies in your stomach. It feels like sweat. It feels like that little gray cloud that goes over your brain, and it feels like fear. But what you have to understand is the same physiological things that feel like fear is actually also excitement. So instead of telling yourself you're scared, why don't you tell yourself you're excited? What does excited feel like? Have you ever run a race? I used to be in track, and every time when I was on those blocks waiting for that gun to go off, oh my gosh, my stomach hurt, my hands were sweaty, I had butterflies, I had that little, that whole body sweats, but I thought I was scared. I was just excited. And so instead of you telling yourself that you're scared, just say, I'm excited, I'm building my business, I'm calling people. But the bottom line is what happens over time, especially if you do this consistently every day for 30 days, what happens is your brain starts taking away that old pathway, because what happens if you stay on it and you stay in the fear, your brain will keep telling you, good, we're back to homeostasis. We're back to where we feel comfortable. But as you keep getting out of the comfort zone, instead of going this way and you go this way, I'm just using an example, all of a sudden the old pathway starts to die off and you start making new neural connections, and all of a sudden your brain starts to say, calling isn't scary. Calling equals success. Calling equals experience. Calling equals knowledge. It equals learning. It equals growth. It equals a step in the right direction. And soon enough, like now when I get approached by people, I used to get really nervous. Like if I was on a plane my first year in network marketing, someone asked me what I did, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to say, Now it's like, I'll just say it. I don't care what I say. I never sound I don't care how I sound, because I'm just I'm speaking from my heart, and I don't feel nervous anymore. I was talking to my daughter who's in a play, and today's drama day, and they're doing tryouts, and she said I could either do a tryout for a role that I could get 5 to 10 lines, or one with 30, and I go for the 30. She goes, I don't know, Mom, I'm scared. I go, what are you scared about? And I said, the only way you're going to get over that fear, Lexi, is to do the thing you're scared about. I said, you're nervous because you think you're going to look nervous, and looking nervous, by being nervous, is the one thing that's going to make you look the weirdest. So don't be nervous. And I said, you're going to be great. When you watch other people do the play, do you think they look weird? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay, well then people won't think you look weird. We'll practice. We'll help you. You'll be good, and you won't be nervous. But do the thing that fears the most, and you will actually get over that fear. And she's like, okay. So I told her, I told her last night, bless you. I told her last night, it's my husband. Everyone's like, hi, he's working over there. Anyway, I told her, I said, do the thing that scares you the most, and you will have no fear, and take action doing it. So guys, this is the easiest thing to do. Taking action is easy to do. It's also easy not to do. It's easy to make a phone call. It's also easier not to. It's easy to go to a meeting. It's easier not to. It's easier to make some post on social media. It's easier not to. It's easier to respond to somebody who has interest in your product. It's easier not to. Everything that requires success is easy to do, but unfortunately, it's easier not to do. Be a person of action. Make a decision today that no matter what, you're going to keep going toward your goal. It's not how long it takes you to get there. It's keep moving in the direction. Because right now, let's say, here's your end goal, or here's your success, or here's the retirement income, and you're here. If you're not moving, you're never going to get here. This is not movement. But even if you move slowly over time, right? Will you eventually get there? Yes, for some people that journey is 2 years, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. It doesn't matter. It matters that you just never stop going toward your goal. But so many people make a goal and they just sit here. And they're like, whoop, and then they go back. And they go, whoop, and they go back. And then they go back. And they're like, wait a minute, here's my goal. You have to keep moving in the towards your goal. You have to be a person of action. You have to be a person of consistency, and you have to show others. And the best way, I have a friend that a long time ago, he said, I don't really want to do it. I just want to teach it. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, I can't go recruit, but I can teach people to recruit. Can I make money that way? And I said, wait, what? No, the reason I can teach people how to recruit is because I've recruited. I've talked to thousands of people and I've sponsored hundreds of people. And I have taken those hundreds of people and turned them into tens of thousands of people by teaching them to recruit. I have the moral authority. I took the action. I learned the lessons. I skinned my knees. I fell down. I got up. I got laughed at. I got ridiculed. I got rejected. I failed. I've learned new ways of doing things. I overcorrected. I undercorrected. I hit obstacles. I hit walls. And I kept bouncing back. Because of that, I have the moral authority to teach you how to do it. Would you want a mentor? Would you want someone to teach you how to skydive that's never jumped out of a plane? Would you want him to be like, okay, this is how you skydive? I would never jump out of a plane with instruction from somebody who's never done skydiving. And just so, I would never take surfing lessons from someone who's never surfed, because you can't possibly anticipate the thousands of things that you could feel surfing or jumping out of an airplane unless you've experienced that. I have experienced thousands of questions and rejections and ridicules. I know everything everyone's going to say. Because of that, I can anticipate it. And because of that, I have knowledge in the area of recruiting or team building or prospecting or following up. And that makes me a valuable leader. And that's what will make you a valuable leader. You cannot not do the thing and then expect to teach it. That is not how this works. You have to go and take the action, learn the lesson, have the success. And when you do that, then you can turn around and you can show other people the path that you took, the experience that you had, the lessons that you learned. But you cannot do that until you have learned them yourself. So you want to be a leader in network marketing, you have to go the way and then you go back and show the way. You have to go and create a path or follow others that have had success and have laid out a system or a path for you. There's thousands of books. There's, mentors all over the internet, YouTube. Here, there's mentors in your team. There's mentors all over, the industry that sincerely want this to be an extraordinary industry. I mean, we're at 200 billion a year. We want to be at 500 billion a year. We want to be at 100 billion a year. We want to be at, 200 billion a year. We want to be at a billion a year, right? We want to be a $1 trillion industry. And we will do that by continually teaching people how to have success, because I believe this is the best industry in the world. I have never imagined having such fun, such success in such short amount of time. And I want to share that with the world. I want to give you this gift. That's why I'm doing these lunch and learns, to teach you guys that anybody of any skill level can do it. Is it all equal playing field? No. But the one great separator is action. You can have goals, you can have dreams, you can have hopes, you can have all this stuff, but without taking action, you're never going to go anywhere. So the action is, I love this, that laziness is a sin, because it truly is. Laziness is a sin. I also want to just say, one of my, I'm going to go a little rant here. One of my little pet peeves is when people are like, oh, I'm praying to God that he'll lead me in the right way. No. With faced with a decision, people say they are waiting for God. But I understand in most cases, God is waiting for you. He has given me a healthy mind to sort information and the courage to come to a conclusion. Guys, we were given free will. This is your decision. I don't think that God would put something in your heart that you weren't meant to do. I think if you follow your values, you follow integrity, you have the right intentions, that you're not going to go wrong. If you're doing something shady and weird and taking money from people or doing something that's very pyramid-y, I don't think that's from God. I think that that's from greed. They can't have greed and God in the same house. So be a person of action, lead others. The first person you have to lead is you, and that's you going out and doing the thing and going back and teaching others. So All right, let me hear a love button if you are going to make 2017 a year of massive action so that you are going to get closer to your goals, whether it doesn't matter how far you are, doesn't matter how slow you go. If you're moving to your goals, you will eventually hit them. Yes, and there's going to be things in your path. There's going to be obstacles. There's going to be people. There's going to be things. There's going to be life. Life has happened to me. I've got life. I have had death. I've had, ridicule. I've had it all. It's going to happen, but you just don't stop going. So how bad do you want your dream? Be a person of action, and you will all get whatever you want from this industry, whether it's part-time, full-time, or big time. So make sure that you share this with your team. This is general free MLM training, and don't forget to get subscribed. YouTube.com/create wealth with Tara. You'll get a notification every time I upload. I think I have all 43 or 44 episodes, and I will upload this today. And I will see you guys tomorrow for decision number 4. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.